Hello and welcome to Currency Call, and I'm Manisha Gupta. Well, joining with their views on currency markets today are Abhishek Goenka, who is the CEO India Forex Advisors, and Kishore M, who is CEO Power Up Capital in our Mumbai studios right here. Kishore, let me start with you. And there has been this huge volatility that's happening in the Indian rupee rally. We saw 45.30 in the initial intraday markets today, and then of course we saw levels like 45.10 as well. So good 20 minutes of a movement here. But then again, how do you see this year ending, and what's your range for the first half of 2011 really?
I think the Indian currency is going to be strong in the short term. Of course, this is because of the inflation, and because of that, interest rates will go up, and usually currency prices go up when interest rates go up.
So what kind of a range are you working with? Do you see it bending more towards 43 or 47?
I think towards 43.
Okay.
Yes.
So appreciation on cars, what would you say, Abhishek? How are you trading it?
See, Manisha, I personally feel that 2011 per se is going to be a very, very difficult year for all the currencies across the globe. Now, just talking about in a very, very strong rupee would not be wise, because in the last couple of months' time we have seen both side movement in rupee happening. So I guess there will be times when we would be seeing a stronger dollar. At the same time, wherever there will be a lot of flows in terms of inflows in India, this year also we have seen on 29 billion as compared to 17 last year. That time rupee will also get very strong. So I guess we should not be talking about a one-sided movement only in rupee as such, because recently what we have started witnessing is a small growth which is developing in US, because of which the 10-year yield has gone up very high. And this time if you see the credit default swap ratio, that has also not increased a lot. And the US stock markets are doing great. So I guess there is a possibility that if this continues and there is a pressure in the US to just calm down the quantitative easing, at that point of time we could see a weaker rupee. So if I have to talk about the range per se, I would say the range would be anywhere between 7 to 8% next year, which would go from 43 to around 46 half level. That is going to be a wide range for rupee next year.
Pretty much the same that we saw in 2010 as well.
Probably.
Okay. Kishore, how about the whole of Asian markets then? Because, you know, this year started quite strong. We saw the Korean won run up. The Chinese yuan, of course, has been making a lot of stories there. So if you had to bet on one Asian currency for 2011, which would that be and why?
We're bullish on commodity currencies actually, particularly Australia because of the gold run up, and Canada because of the oil run up. But if you look at an Asian currency, I think I'm bullish on Singapore dollar.
Okay, and what kind of returns would you be expecting on that one?
Anywhere between 10 to 15% return, as you can expect.
And the commodity currencies, as you mentioned, and we've seen Australian dollar quite run up in the day-to-day as well. It's trading at a 7-week high versus the US dollar even at this point in time.
Yes.
What kind of a run-up, what kind of a range are you expecting for 2011?
See, it's at parity right now, and it's kind of facing resistance every time it gets to that level.
Sure.
I think once it breaks through that level, I think you should expect it to go to at least 1.1, 1.2 levels.
All right, to you, Abhishek. Then in Asian currencies, what are your best bets there?
Of course, nowadays all the Asian currencies are going up, but I would stick with Singapore dollar, as rightly said.
Okay.
The Korean won is doing quite good. Chinese currency would also be a gainer. A little difference which the Chinese yuan has made in the recent past, I would like to point, is that despite the increase in interest rates, normally the central bank comes in and intervenes and doesn't let the Chinese currency go very strong. But this time, despite an increase in interest rate, we have seen the yuan getting a little stronger. And the inflation concerns are very high. So I feel that this time the government is going to fight the imported inflation in China, not only by increasing the interest rates by maybe a couple of times, but also letting its currency appreciate. So I think Chinese yuan and Singapore dollar would be the best bet in the coming days.
Another currency that has been facing some intervention flack really has been the Japanese yen, and today yet again there are statements from the Japan finance minister that the stance is quite clear. If the currency goes one way and that's on higher side, there would be intervention yet again. So are you looking at Japanese yen, because we've talked about it as a carry trade currency and lots of other factors. Do you see that currency also building up in 2011?
The problem is the carry trade is no longer there because of the interest rates between US and yen, not very lucrative anymore. I think it's going to be range bound for the first quarter of next year.
Your view on that, Abhishek? What kind of?
I think Bollinger, in Japanese yen has narrowed a lot now. It's a range of 80 to 85 for quite some time. So I think we would be ready for shocks now. Market is unable to break 85 above, despite the fact the dollar has got very, very strong.
Sure.
So I guess I would bet with a stronger yen, maybe 80 and below, maybe 75, maybe in the days to come.
All right, Kishore, Abhishek, let you go at that. Thank you so much for coming by and giving us your strategy. So it's about Singapore dollar and Chinese yuan that you need to bet on in 2011. With that, it's a wrap on this segment of Currency Call. Thank you so much for watching.